Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome to a very high level game of StarCraft 2 between, in the bottom left, one of Korea's finest, as it is Cure, playing for Dragon Phoenix Gaming in the blue trunks with the barracks in the natural. And on the other side of the map, playing for KZ Gaming, it is Reynor. Intense stuff over here, as we saw the barracks opening up on the low ground. And this is kind of common if you play something like a 2 barracks Reaper opener. Something that we've seen Maru do a decent amount. He played it in the most recent remake Atlanta. I want to say I've seen him use it once or twice as well in the GSL. That's not going to be the case here. It's just a single Rex. It's just going to be... Oh, this is a really cool move actually. This is really cute. Would you look at that? So it's going to be one Marine. And this Marine is probably going to be capable of killing this Overlord, because the barracks is on the low ground. So a quick lift on this barracks is going to provide vision of the high ground here. Reynor, not quite sure what he wanted to do, is like, alright, I guess I'm going to lose my Overlord, but it's probably better to lose my Overlord forcing a lift off on the barracks than just straight up losing my Overlord. So he's gonna try to move away into dead space right now. He's actually doing a pretty decent job at it as well. Cure not completely paying attention. I think he actually needs to split up these Marines. There we go. Finally gets going, but a lot of damage on this Overlord means that it's still just going to end up dying. So that one will splatter to the ground, and the remains will be right next to this tree, a couple of rocks. So we see it disappear in front of our eyes. Two links make their way across the map. As this is an interesting builder here out of Cure, honestly. I really do like that. There's an SCV. I want to say this is a scout, but yeah, no, that is just a scout. No, it's not. It's not just a scout. It's many things, including a scout. There's gonna be a bunker there. It's like, what, a 3 Marine pressure? With a bunker on the 3rd was the plan, and a follow-up with a bunch of Hellions. We have a depot that is positioned on the very edge here, and kind of reminds me of like a TVT depot, you know, to spot any Reapers jumping up. Maybe it was to spot Overlord from going into the base earlier, but I mean, the only Overlord that was on Cure side has already died. May he rest in peace. A second barracks on the way. We have a starport as well. This second barracks was... Yeah, it was before the starport. I was just second guessing myself there for a second, but definitely was before the starport. It is a very weird build order here. This could be an extremely dedicated Hellbat attack, where you just get a bunch of Marines with it. But there's not that many Hellions though, so it probably isn't going to be that. Tech Lab is on the way immediately as well. We have one medevac coming in here. Still, more and more cars are being produced. First car took a little bit of damage, has not really done much of anything itself. I think tried to probably take out this creep tumor, that didn't quite work out. As a medevac right now being produced at home for Cure still. And once that finishes, we're probably going to see like a 7 Marine drop, while at the same time going for a triple car run by. Tech Lab goes down here on the factory, no 3rd CC yet. It's going to be extremely slow, that 3rd CC. And a single Liberator after... Okay. Liberator after the medevac. We don't have a 3rd CC, we don't have a 3rd barracks yet either. This could still go into like a 2 base all-in, although I find that a little bit unlikely. I'm personally more feeling just a kind of a delayed 3rd base. And this will force Cure into dealing a lot of damage with this. Because if he doesn't, Reynor's just going to be way too far ahead. Links are already waiting in the main base. Spores on the way as well. And the Queen is in position. And these 7 Marines are not going to be capable of doing anything. We do have a tank on the way. And 2 drones do go down against these cars. Perhaps an opportunity for this medevac to go back in and try and deal some damage. Yep, there we go. Drops on top of the Queen. Queen is taking a little bit of a beating here. One Hellion did end up falling. But so might this Queen. No. Well, yep, there we go. One Marine with the chase is indeed going to get it. Medevac needs to be so careful here. Cannot afford to lose that medevac. Not just for the pressure, but also for the follow-up push that I think inevitably is going to come. No vision yet on that Liberator. It's being held outside of the Overlord range as well. 30C's coming down, double gases. We have Stim finishing up. Don't have an armory, or at least I'm not aware of an armory. So these cars are just for a little bit of extra damage. Maybe trying to take out one of these creep tumors. There is a full wall over here with 2 tanks behind it. So this really shouldn't be much of an issue for Cure to defend the run by. Reynor has managed to drone up to 57, and despite this being a very small map, feel like reynor put himself in a pretty decent position. 2 tumors will get taken out while they were trying to build, and 2 more are gonna get scanned and die here. The third one falling as well. Medevac still extremely low. Reynor needs to be so careful in these little... Whoa. Sorry, Cure needs to be so careful in these engagements. Cannot afford to lose the Medevac. Medevac stays alive for now. Links around doesn't actually fully close around these forces. That means that a lot more Links are going to end up dying than I think was really necessary. This was really an okay fight. At the same time, a Liberator dealt a lot of damage. Spore gets the kill, but 8 drones going down in that little interaction. More Links in production. And no upgrades yet here for Reynor. No fort base, no nothing. It felt like he was in such a good spot, but actually after all of these little trades, it feels like Reynor is behind by a decent amount. He's building 40 mains. He believes he's playing against a 2-base all-in. He 100% believes he's playing against a 2-base all-in. Has not started any upgrades right now. Is not even building an Evo chamber. And he's setting up to stop a 2-base push. But this is not really a 2-base push. This is 2 Rex pressure with tanks, sure, and there's maybe a Hellion and a couple of Medevacs, but yeah, this ain't real Reynor. This is a fake. The upgrades are actually going to be faster here for Cure as well. He's already up in workers. If Cure were just to do nothing right now, I think that would be good. Just literally doing nothing would actually be the correct call at this point. That has got to hurt for Reynor at least a little bit. Who's continuing to build more and more queens, going up to 10, adding more overlords, more links, more banelings. 2 more workers do go down on the side of Reynor. Not quite sure where that happened, as now a flank is being set up. This army is just going to get absolutely crushed. Marines will get the evacuation out of here with the Medevacs, but every single tank gets killed and the tank count gets reset altogether. So I have 1 tank at home, but yeah, it's not great. Ideally, you kind of want to build on bigger tank numbers every single time. We have 3 more drones coming in from Reynor, and Reynor right now, I think, scouts. Is like, oh, wait a second. Why are the Marines on that high ground? Did I misread this? And Reynor's gonna regret not building any extra drones. He completely crushed that push. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, Cure just kind of picked up. Kept a lot of his units alive. Reynor was not at all close to dying. He could have definitely survived with like 10, 12 more workers. At least. Maybe even with more workers and less units. Now we see Burrow being researched. We have an Evo chamber. The Fort CC for the Terran player is almost at the same timing as the Fort hatchery is for the Zerg. The upgrades are so much faster here for Cure as well that Reynor seems to be in an almost impossible situation to play in. Which is kind of sad for Reynor, honestly. The carapace is nice. Do we even have an armory yet? Do have an armory. Okay. A little bit of harassment on the left side. It's going to clear 2 Banes. Ooh, nice redrop. It's not going to be capable of targeting anything down. Honestly, the creep spread here hasn't been brilliant either. This hasn't been perfect creep spread so far. Feels like Reynor really got caught off guard, and right now is just kind of hoping that he doesn't die in the next... well, like the next 10 minutes or so. Like, he needs to survive into a very long game. I don't see any plausible timings for him right now. I don't see any tech switches that could really catch Cure off guard either. Like, it's... if anything, it's going to be extremely difficult for Reynor to hold off a 2-2 push. Like, we're gonna go up to 8 barracks soon. That won't contribute too much, but 2-2 is about to finish up as well. Where's the... Where are you guys at? Oh, here. Right in the middle. Hiding in plain sight. The problem here for Reynor is that his worker count is balls. He has no hive tech yet, so Vipers will not be ready for what seems to be gearing up to be a pretty significant tank push. You have a second tech lab coming in as well, so no Vipers, no extremely high Bane count, inferior upgrades, inferior supply, although that might have something to do with the fact that Reynor is floating about 1300 mineral and 1100 gas. I'm just not entirely sure. 3 more barracks are on the way here for Cure. This just doesn't look so nice for Reynor, honestly. It really doesn't. It's gonna target down a couple of these Banes. That means it's just gonna be pure Link for now. Oop. This base is gonna get taken. What? How many hatcheries are we getting here? I can see 3. Okay, so going up to 6 bases. Tumors have completely disappeared right now on the left side. I have no hope here, my friends. If you're an Italian and you're watching this, you might want to close your eyes. Because I just don't really see a way where Reynor's going to hold easily. Like, he has no creep. How's he going to defend this base? It's not possible. He can't even defend against, like, a double drop. Double drop moves there, just going to kill it. This right side is also going to be tricky. You have some insane tank positions up of this cliff. Put some tanks over here. Like, they all cover each other. They're all mental. Currently, we have 8 tanks out already. Ooh, what is these Banes doing? Oh, they were burrowed. I completely missed that. Tank from the far back managed to take him out in the end there. Hydra then on the way for Reynor. We finally have the Hive coming, but look how late this is all going to be. Hive is going to finish by the time, well, the Terran is going to be in the, basically in Reynor's natural with the tanks and with the Marines and everything. Creep has largely disappeared in the middle part of the map as well. This just looks terrible. 6 base being taken out. You have this Hive that is, yeah, halfway down. It's just not good enough. It is simply not good enough. The only thing that could be a saving grace here for Reynor is if Cure falls asleep on the wheel and says, hey, you know what? I actually really like late game and I'm just going to play a late game. I don't want to kill you. But I feel like if we see an aggressive push here towards the right side, I just don't get it. This is a single tank and a lot of Marines. This was a pretty decent fight for Reynor, given the upgrade situation and given the fact that he has almost no creep here. How did these guys burrow? What? I didn't even see that happen. Like, oh! It was a scan. I thought he accidentally exploded them too fast, but the scan forced them to pop like a balloon a little bit early. And Cure is going to be very happy about that. That could have cost him like 20, 25 Marines or so. Now we have 3 Vipers on the way. You immediately see Cure being kind of afraid as well. Just scanning ahead, not wanting to run too far. Uh-oh. We have a re-burrowing taking place there. That's kind of interesting. I'm not sure. Oh, right. There was some vision here. Reynor had some vision of the drop coming in. Immediately set up. Oh. Burrowed Banes are going to get scouted here. As 2, 3 extra Banes are going to get sniped as well. We have turrets, sensor towers. And this is kind of the siege that I wanted. I wanted it with slightly more tanks. It feels like there's a lot of tanks in the far back that are not contributing here whatsoever. 5th base is going to get up without any issue. And the fact that that happened is already really painful for Reynor. Like, he's looking at that and going, alright, normally the goal in a game for a Zerg is to kind of deny the 5th base of the Terran player for a very long time. But that's just simply impossible right now. We do have an attack coming in from multiple sides. Blinding Clouds are being cast as well. Tanks will not be capable of shooting here. Queen's moving forward too, but the royalty as always is going to be lazy in the back, not really contributing to the fight at all. Banelings don't quite get the connections that they wanted, but this fight went way better than I ever expected. Planetary will end up falling. CCs that were building get taken out. Is there a backup CC that can be turned into a planetary? The answer to that is, well, this one, I guess, can be turned into a planetary. You have a backup planetary here as well. It feels like Cure prefers safety over anything else. Like, he's looking at this situation right now. It's like, alright, I can go for a counterattack, or, you know, I can just fly this CC over towards the far right side. But he says, no, instead I'm going to play it slow. I'm going to continue building a triple tanks at the same time. The weird thing here is that he's like pretending like he's playing the late game, but then he's not building Ghost. Like, what really is the point of that? It's like hyping that you have the best Christmas gift for someone, and the moment Christmas comes around, there's no gift. Or you just give them like some chocolate. Which is a fine gift, but it's not the greatest gift you're ever gonna receive, you know? Don't hype it up. It kind of feels like what Cure is doing here. It's like he's kind of hyping up the late game here with triple factory production, just building a lot of command centers at the same time. But then we don't have a Ghost Academy. That's pretty much what the Terran late game is about, you know? It's not great. It's just, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Now, the Link Bane needs to start moving towards the far right side of the map. Then we have the 2-3 Vipers. Another big flank being set up right now. There's 4, 5, 6 tanks going all the way to the back. These Blinding Clouds are not going to be enough. 3, 4 tanks will get stopped, but there's so many still. And this is going to be a lift on this orbital, which actually is quite nice. It might have died otherwise against a lot of Banelings, against the Hydra fire, but now I actually believe it will stay alive. Was the fight good for Reynor resource lost-wise? Absolutely not. Was it okay as it broke a position that you don't want your opponent to have mining? Then yeah. If we follow that concept, it is completely okay what Reynor just did. Does need to be careful, does not want to lose all of those Hydras on the retreat. Of course, the nice thing about there not being any ghosts is that these Hydras actually can retreat. Hydras are so slow of creep, it's insane. I was wondering if muscular augments was researched yet. We don't actually have grooved spines yet, so Hydras with a little bit less range than they should be. It's going to be quite painful if that continues on in the game. There's plenty of cash for reynor as well to fix that issue. It's not quite doing it yet though. Oh, that was a burrow bailing. I just didn't catch it. But I heard them unburrow, and I saw the result of 3 marine men covered in acid, or 5 marine men covered in acid. Again, no ghost at all. Tanks. How is it possible that you have an absolute S tier unit in the late game and Cure decides to not play it? It just really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. He's gonna snipe another base though. He's keeping it quick, and Marine Marauder tank can trade well against the army he's facing, but it would trade even better if there were ghosts around, right? If you think about supply efficiency, ghosts are just the absolute kings of that. They tank a lot of bailing shots, have insane auto damage, and on top of that have the snipe ability, have the ability to EMP as well, making your tanks a lot more useful. There's so many use cases for the ghost in the Terran versus Zerg matchup, but not building any is almost always a mistake if you have the ability to. This fight ends up going pretty okay for Cure though, as the tanks get to stay alive. At the same time, creep is being cleared in the middle here. Double drops will pick up and piss off straight away. Seismic Spine starts. 2 more Vipers on the way. Oh, every single Viper died. That's kind of sloppy, as there was no real mechanism here for Cure to kill those Vipers, except the Marines. And I guess the turrets that ended up falling in the end. 2 more lips, adding on top of the 2 lips that are already out. 1 lip making its way far across the left side of the map. Going for a little bit of harassment. There's no Spore Crawler here, so might actually end up paying out. Good scan. 1 creep tumor goes down. Scary moments here for Cure, perhaps. Needs to be so. Still no Ghost Academy. This just makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. Cure, without a Ghost Academy, surely has got to realize right now that there's lurkers out. And ghosts are really one of the only counters against lurkers. We see them move forward, get healed here by the queens, get transfused, take out a tank. Now we still have a couple of tanks for backup. At the same time, we also have a couple of Vipers here that could abduct, that could Blinding Cloud. And will definitely be great to synergize with the lurkers over here. No range yet on these lips. I don't think we have a fusion core quite yet. Yeah, there's none. So much cash as well for Cure, who now starts a double Ghost Academy. Tanks dealing a crap ton of damage. So much damage actually. Holy cow. Holy cow, there's a lot of Ling Bane on the left side. reynor preparing for a run by that's probably never going to come. As Cure is sending all of his units, all of his aggressive resources towards this right side. All of his bio, his liberators, his tanks. Not enough NTR to kill that liberator. Maybe there is with the queens. Couple of Hydras in the back. Here comes a big push out of reynor. Moving forward straight away into this position. We just get a lift though. 1 Blinding Cloud and Abduct and some good target fire coming out of reynor means that Cure will be forced to temporarily give up this position. He lost this battle, but not the war. He still has a fantastic amount of orbitals at 6, I believe it is. Yep, there we go. He has the ability to build Ghost, 1, 2 Abducts for free. Well, for free, we get 1 tank shot off. More energy is going to be siphoned off this hatchery on the 3 o'clock. The Liberator's pushing in as well. Uh-oh. Here we go. Hydra's taking a little bit of a beating. One more lurker gets liberated. First, ghosts are popping out right now. More abducts coming in. Ghost pretty tanky. One of them will survive. They already deal so much damage. Not a lot of people know this, but it's the highest damage per second in the entire game. Unit with the highest damage output per second. Absolutely crazy. And on top of that, armor doesn't affect it too much either, which makes it even wilder. Because it has such high single target damage, right? Rather than having a very high rate of fire, actually has a low rate of fire. But the damage output that a Liberator has is insane. Really, really crazy. But I love it at the same time. Oh, here we go. Couple of snipes going down right now. 2 lurkers. No, just 1 lurker is going to fall. This is a significant force. Cure, by the way, on a very, very low work count. So is reynor, though. Both below 70, which means their armies are huge. Kind of like the way that reynor is playing this. It's like, hey, I know my earlier trades weren't that great, and I'm going to make up for it by just playing some of the kind of the safest, the biggest armies of Zerg that you can get. Here comes another pickup of the lurkers. Settles down a little bit further onto the map. As reynor took his own Rich Vespine Geyser base. Love to see a little bit of mining action going on over there, but not quite going to be the case yet. Liberator pushes in. We'll take out perhaps a Hydra and a Queen. Tank in the back will indeed blast the Queen. So that's big. Here come a couple of snipes. That's 2 lurkers that are dead. No Overseer here, not in position at least. That means all of these lurkers are going to end up falling. This was a huge move out of Cure. I really, really like this. 3 queens do remain, but what was that? 7, 8 lurkers that just went down here. We see an immediate rotation coming out of reynor towards the left side as well. Nuke is landing, but this just doesn't matter. We have 9 ghosts right now, 11 tanks, 9 marauders, and 12 marines. And reynor just doesn't have enough units to deal with an army this size. To deal with an army that has been, well, disinefficient so far in this game. reynor needs to take a base of his opponent, but hasn't done it so far. The 9 o'clock is very unrealistic. It's too close here to this third. And honestly, even the 3 o'clock is kind of in danger. If we play this game out mentally, I think eventually Cure is going to get both the 3 as well as the 9 o'clock. And that puts insane amounts of pressure here on reynor, who's basically going to be forced to continuously attack into this base. And if he doesn't, he's just going to end up losing, because he needs to break this. He needs to get the fight. He needs to make sure that he can mine from his own 3 o'clock. And so far, it's not looking all that great for him, if he does want to continue mining there. Boom. Nuke is going to hit 1 queen. That's going to be about it. Here come the snipes. No, not yet. Vipers moving in. Gonna get 1 blinding cloud that's completely useless just on a patch of grass, and 1 blinding cloud that hit 2 tanks over here. A lot of Cure's units are being evacuated. But I don't even really think it's going to matter. The bank for reynor is simply too small. He has 200 minerals or 300 minerals in the bank, 400 gas, and oh yeah, we still have this attack going on as well. Base might actually be in a little bit of trouble. Lurkers are going to end up falling. Do we have concussive on these? Yep, we do. We still do not have the grooved spine, so the range upgrade for the Hydras, but I'm okay with it. I don't think it would have mattered too much. It's of course always nice to have, and it always has a minor impact, but it's not like he was playing 35 Hydras, like 7 to 8 Hydras, and yes, grooved spines is really good to have, but it's not going to be game changing at all. Here we go once more. Trying to snipe a Spore. Terran tank on the high ground is just making sure that that's possible as well. The moment links come in, you can basically just let your tank go absolutely bananas. There's a lot of ghosts here on the right side. I mean, the fact that his left side is under attack just by a 2 Marauder, 5 Medevac army should pretty much say enough about this game. Pretty much should say that reynor is in a world of trouble right now. Liberator still without lip range are going to be pushing forward. These drones might die. 1, 2 go down. Queen dies. Yep, 3 o'clock is going to get taken out. At the same time, the Rich Vespine is going to be taken. I actually believe this is just going to be it. We have a huge engagement coming in here. Big stim as well. Not that much bio though. And yeah, I think reynor is absolutely lost. Tanks on the high ground. Couple of snipes go down. GG gets called as reynor wins this series. Now, if you did enjoy the series, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and bye bye.